Good morning, students. Today we are going to see about ciliated epithelium. Epithelium, what is epithelium? A group of cells, leaves or present surface of the skin or surface of the internal organs. That is called epithelium. Ciliated epithelium, cilia, hair-like structures. This epithelium, hair-like structures. Certain columnar cells bear numerous, delicate, soft, numerous, lot of hair-like outgrowths called cilia and are called ciliated epithelium. Their function is to move particles or mucus in a specific direction over the epithelium. What is the function of a ciliated epithelium? Move particles or mucus in a specific direction over the epithelium. For example, you just imagine in our respiratory tract, that is nose, starts from nose and it ends in the lungs. When we breathe, some dust particles can enter inside our nostrils. Even though it enters inside the nostrils, this ciliated epithelium brings the dust particles outside. It is seen in the trachea. Trachea, what's the meaning of trachea? Air pipe, windpipe, bronchioles. That windpipe inside the lungs divides again and again. That is called bronchioles of respiratory tract, path, tube. And it is present in kidney tubules. From kidney, tubules are come, lot of tubules are there, the tubules and fallopian tubes. What is fallopian tubes? In the ovary, these two tubes are there. The tubes are called fallopian tubes of oviducts. Oviducts, egg releasing ducts. Ducts means tubes. Let us see the picture, the structure of the ciliated epithelium. This is the structure of ciliated epithelium. You see cilia, hair-like structure, basal granule, cell membrane, goblet cell, nucleus, basement membrane. These are the some organelles or specialized structures of ciliated epithelium. It is one kind of cell. Next we are going to see about glandular epithelium. Glandular epithelium. The simple epithelium, it is coming under simple epithelium. Already we have seen simple epithelium. What are the simple epithelium? Squamous epithelium, cuboidal epithelium, columnar epithelium and ciliated epithelium. Next one, glandular epithelium. Gland. What is gland? It secretes some enzymes or hormones or some fluids, that is called glandular. Epithelial cells are often modified to form specialized gland cells which secrete chemical substances at the epithelial surface. This lines the gastric glands, gastric stomach glands. Gastric glands secretes pepsin, renin and hydrochloric acid. Pancreatic tubules, pancreas, that insulin secretes, pancreas. The tubules and intestinal glands, succus entericus secreted by intestinal glands. Okay, let us see the structure of glandular epithelium. Wow, what a very beautiful structure, the glandular epithelium. Very colorful, goblet cell, ciliated columnar cell, cilia, basement membrane, basal cell, connective tissue is there. Next, we are going to see about compound epithelium. So far we have seen simple epithelium. Next we are going to see compound epithelium. It consists of more than one layer of cells. More than one layer. The simple epithelium, single layer. It is more than one layer and gives a stratified appearance. Several layers, stratified, several layers. Hence they are also known as stratified epithelial cells. The main function of this epithelium is to give protection to the underlying tissues against mechanical and chemical stress. What is the main function of this epithelium? What is mechanical? For example, we are using our hand often This hand also consists of several cells. The cells should not damage, So this compound epithelium has several layers and chemical stress. When we apply some chemicals, that may be perfume, or when we expose to some chemicals, our skin should not damage. Wherever that chances that to damage cells, there this kind of epithelium only protects us. They also cover the dry surfaces of the skin, the moist surface of the buccal cavity and pharynx. Buccal cavity. What is buccal cavity? Inside our mouth there is a cavity, that is buccal cavity, and pharynx. Pharynx, otherwise called throat. Do you know epithelial tissue in the skin functions as a waterproof membrane? Next, we will see the structure. Compound epithelium structure, you see, multi-layered cells is there, multi-layered cells. On activity, if it is possible, you can do it after school reopening. We can do in our laboratory. Don't worry. Rinse your mouth with water. Using a toothpick or ice cream stick, scrape superficial cells from inner side of the cheek. Cheek, where is cheek? That mouth, two sides is there, that region only cheek. First you should take some water and you should rinse with water using a toothpick. After eating mutton or chicken, between our tooth there will be some pieces of mutton, chicken, meat. We will take with the help of this toothpick or ice cream stick. Where we can use toothpick or ice cream stick. Scrape. What is scrape? Taking, slowly taking. What we are going to take, the sample. Suppose if corona viral fever, if it is there or not, how it is they are checking. They are taking some swab from nose and throat, like that, from inner side of the cheek, and spread it on a clean glass slide. Dry the glass slide with the scrap cells taken from the inner side of the cheek, or 2 drops of methylene blue stain. Stain means color. One colorful dye we will add. Along with that sample. Identify the cells under the low and high power of microscope. Now we can see some cells. Okay, lively we can see the cells. Next topic, connective tissues. What is connective? Connecting the tissues. We have several tissues, Okay, digestive tissue, nervous tissue, then muscular tissue, like that several tissue we have. It is connecting. It is one of the most abundant and widely distributed tissue. It provides structural framework and gives support to different tissues forming organs. It prevents the organs from getting displaced by body movements. The components of the connective tissue or the intercellular substance is known as the matrix. Connective tissue cells and fibers. Connective tissue is classified as follows. It is classified into connective tissue proper, areolar and adipose tissue, supportive connective tissue, cartilage and bone. Now we will see one by one. You see, this is the areolar tissue, collagen fibers, that is on protein, elastic fibers, fibroblast cells are there in areolar tissue. Next, dense connective tissue, tendons and ligaments. What is tendons and ligaments? With the picture we will see later. Fluid connective tissue, blood and lymph. These tendons and ligaments helps attach muscles to bone and bone to bone. Now connective tissue proper. Connective tissue proper consists of collagen fibers, elastin fibers and fibroblast cells. Areolar tissues. It has cells and fibers loosely arranged in semi-fluid ground substance called a matrix. It takes the form of fine threads crossing each other in every direction, leaving small spaces called areolae. That spaces is called areolae. It joins skin to muscles. What is the function of this areolae? Joins skin to muscles. Fill space inside organs and is found around muscles, blood vessels and nerves. It helps in repair of tissues after injury. Suppose if you fall down, there will be injury. This areolar tissue only helping from repair and fixes skin to underlying muscles. That are the uses of this tissue. Next, adipose tissue. Adipose tissue is the aggregation of fat cells. Aggregation means what? Mass gathering of fat cells. Fat cells are otherwise called adipocytes. Cytes means cells. Study of cells is called cytology. Spherical or oval in shape, it serves as fat reservoir. It stores that the cells are stores the storing place. Reservoir means a dam or a storing place. You see that adipose tissue structure. Adipocytes. They are found in the subcutaneous tissue, below cutaneous skin, between internal organs around the heart and kidneys. They act as shock absorbers. It is acting as shock absorbers around the kidneys and eyeballs. They also regulate the body temperature by acting as insulator. It is acting as insulator. It regulates body temperature. Each tissue has some specific function, my dear students. Next, supportive connective tissue. Supportive connective tissue. Supporting our skeleton. Without skeleton, we can't walk, we can't sit. It is supporting to stand and sit and to do some work. Tissues forms the endoskeleton. What is endoskeleton? Endo inside, skeleton bones. Skeletons are inside our body, not outside the body. Exoskeleton, that is outside. Some beetles, the skeleton will be, or skeleton-like structures will be outside of the body. That is exoskeleton of the vertebrate body, which protect various organs and help in locomotion. What is locomotion? Movement. The supportive tissues include cartilage and bone. Cartilage, flexible bone. Bone that is strong. It is not flexible. Let us see the cartilage. This is also bone but flexible. They are soft, semi-rigid, flexible and are less vascular in nature. What is vascular? Less blood supply. The matrix is composed of large cartilage cells called chondrocytes. These cells are present in fluid-filled spaces known as lacunae. These cells are present, these spaces, that is called lacunae. You see that structure. Cartilage is present in the tip of the nose. In the tip of the nose it is there. You see our nose is flexible, you can just touch and see. But before touching you have to wash a hand with the help of any soap. Because now corona time, unnecessarily we should not touch our nose, because if we touch our nose there is a chance to enter the coronavirus COVID-19. So unnecessarily don't touch any place. And the external ear, our ear also flexible, you can you know that. End of long bones, trachea, windpipe and larynx, voice box. I am speaking, with the help of my larynx only I am speaking, voice box. It provides support and flexibility to the body parts. You see that cartilage structure, how gap is there, chondrocyte, lacuna, ground substance, cartilage. Next, bone, you know that it is solid, rigid, very strong and strong non-flexible skeletal connective tissue. The matrix of the bone is rich in calcium salts. Calcium is very essential for bone. Okay, that's why doctors, pediatricians, they are saying we should drink milk and calcium rich food. It is very good to our bone. And collagen fibers, which gives the bone its strength. The matrix of the bone is in the form of concentric rings called lamellae. The bone cells present in lacunae are called osteocytes. They communicate with each other by a network of fine canals called canaliculi. They are called hollow. Hollow means what? Inside the bone there is a cavity. The cavity is called hollow cavities, or spaces are called marrow. Marrow, what is marrow? Red marrow, yellow marrow like that, some juice like some fluids are there inside the bone. When you purchase mutton, you can when you eat that bone, if you suck, there will be some fluid, that is marrow. This marrow only produces the blood cells. Cavity is filled with bone marrow. The provides shape and structural framework to the body. Bones support and protect soft tissues and organs. You see the transverse section of bone. See, when we see under the electron microscope, our bone looks like this. All the pictures we are seeing, through electron microscope, if we see, it will be like that. Lamellae, cement line, lacunae, canaliculi, central Haversian canal. Like this, some structures we can see, my dear student. Next, dense connective tissue. It is a fibrous connective tissue, densely packed with the fibers and fibroblasts. These are all cells. It is the principal component of tendons and ligaments. Tendons. What is tendons? They are cord-like, thread-like, strong structures that join skeletal muscles to bones. What is tendon? What is skeletal? Bone. Muscles are attached with the bone. That muscles are called as skeletal muscles. That muscles are attaching with the bone with the help of tendon. Tendons have great strength and limited flexibility. They consist of parallel bundles. What's bundles? Several cords, bunch of threads of collagen fibers between which are present rows of fibroblasts. Okay, you see the structure, tendon structure. This is a tendon, we can see collagen fiber, fibroblast nuclei. Next, ligaments. They are highly elastic structures. What is elastic? Flexible and have great strength which connect bones to bones. Tendons, skeletal muscles to bones, but ligaments, bones to bones, it connects. They contain very little matrix, they strengthen the joints and allow normal movement. You see this picture, ligaments, bundles of connective tissue. What it is doing? Connects bone to bone. Spine. What is spine? We can't use our muscles properly for some time. Okay, that is spine. Is caused by excessive pulling, stretching of ligaments. Next, fluid connective tissue. Fluid, water-like connective tissue. The blood and the lymph are the fluid connective tissue. Remaining and all water, solid connective tissue, which link different parts of the body. How it links different parts of the body? Our body is made up of cells. The cells need energy. The cells need oxygen. So through blood only, that nutrients and oxygen is carried. So it is a link. It links different parts of the body. The cells of the connective tissue are loosely spaced and are embedded, filled in an intercellular matrix. What is intra? Same, inter, two different. Blood contains corpuscles, which are red blood cells. Erythrocytes. Red blood cells are called erythrocytes. It is red in color. What is the reason? Because hemoglobin is present. There is one pigment that is what? Hemoglobin. That's why it is red in color. That erythrocytes will be living inside our body 120 days. That's the lifespan. It generates inside our bone marrow. It dies in our spleen. White blood cells, leukocytes. It is the immune power. White blood cells gives immune power to our body. And platelets, it's otherwise called thrombocytes. Whenever we get injury, that there is a bleeding, blood release, blood leaking, but it will stop very short time with the help of these platelets. If dengue fever comes, it mainly will affect, the dengue virus will affect platelets only, that. In this fluid connective tissue, blood cells move in a fluid matrix called plasma. Actually, in the blood, 55% plasma. Plasma means water-like substance, yellow in color. Remaining 40%, 45% only cells, erythrocytes, leukocytes and platelets. The plasma contains inorganic salts. Organic, the salts we can get from living thing. Inorganic from non-living thing. And organic substances. It is a main circulating fluid that helps in the transport of nutrient substances. Red blood cells are red blood corpuscles, erythrocytes. The red blood corpuscles are oval shaped, circular, biconcave, by two sides. There is some space, both sides. Concave structure, disc-like cells and lack nucleus. Don't have nucleus. In our body, all the cells consist of nucleus, but red blood cells don't have nucleus. Instead of nucleus, it consists of hemoglobin. When mature mammalian red blood cells, they contains respiratory pigment called hemoglobin, which is involved in the transport of oxygen to tissues. First of all, that red blood cell will have nucleus, but when it mature, total 120 days, its lifespan, first 20 days it will have nucleus, but after 20 days only it will lack its nucleus. Next, white blood corpuscles, leukocytes. They are larger in size, contain distinct nucleus and are colorless. They are capable of amoeboid movement. It has nucleus, that's clear nucleus, colorless structure. It is moving like amoeba, that is amoeboid movement, and play an important role in body's defense mechanism. Okay, immune system. They engulf, they swallow, they eat, destroy foreign bodies. What is foreign bodies? Bacteria, virus, protozoa, okay, fungi, whatever from outside, some pathogens, germs, microbes enter. These white blood cells will kill. White blood cells are of two types, granulocytes and agranulocytes. Granulocytes have irregular shaped nuclei and cytoplasmic granules. In the cytoplasm, there is some granules. Some dot-like structures will be there, granules. They include the neutrophils, basophils and eosinophils. Agranulocytes. Absence of granules. Lack cytoplasmic granules and include the lymphocytes and monocytes. Lymphocytes, two types, T lymphocytes and B lymphocytes. T lymphocytes will kill the virus, B lymphocytes will create antibodies. Monocytes after maturing it will give macrophages, very big pages engulfing. It will eat the foreign substances, that foreign bodies. Next, blood platelets. They are minute, anucleated, absence of nucleus, there is no nucleus. Fragile, what is easily broken. Fragments of giant bone marrow called megakaryocytes. They play an important role in blood clotting mechanism. You see the picture, erythrocytes, that is red blood cell, monocytes, later it will become macrophages, lymphocytes, B lymphocyte, T lymphocyte, T helper cells, T killer cells, several types are there. Basophil, neutrophil only in our body, lot of a number is there, eosinophil, platelet. Finally, lymph. It is a colorless fluid. Lymph is a colorless fluid filtered out of the blood capillaries. What is capillaries? Very minute blood vessels are called capillaries. It consists of plasma and white blood cells. It mainly helps in the exchange of materials between blood and tissue fluids. Okay student, thank you student.